baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Boy, man. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, she good. My baby, she hood. Talk shit about a king, why? My baby, she would. She so grown, a whole meal. Homegrown, she so real, her toes still. Boy, she don't play about shit. Keep a nice grip and a tight purse. Told me relax. Great rising. Want a wife, she so catty. Daddy, Michelle Pfeiffer. Hyper, but I like her. She like daddy, and I'm like, what? Get her anything that she asks for. Ask for any other queens, kiss her ring. It's a castle. Boy, we them assholes. You don't wanna come across me and bang, gang. In our way, all you get is bang. Since the day come on in here, great rising. You are watching Magic Up TV, and I am your host, 70 Alchemist. Here's where we talk about love, we talk about law, we talk about all things. There's nothing off the table, you understand? And here's what we say: life is easy, we make it hard. I am 70 Alchemist. Hit that love button, hit that share button when you get here. Let somebody know that the Alchemist is in the building. You understand? Come on in. Do I. Baby, my baby. Baby, my baby. Ooh, we gonna get into it today. Baby, my baby. We gonna get into it. My baby. Y'all gonna have some opinions about this one. Baby, my baby. When they ain't got it, I got it. Ain't got it, she got it. Together, no problem. Together, we better. We planning tomorrow. No bottom is still in only. Look at her getting lit, feeling on me. Woo, all that melon on me. Come on in here. Alright. When the fight takes place, war is equal. And I ain't talking about war, just any war. I'm talking about man and woman. I'm talking about man and woman. Yesterday, I put a post out on Facebook. I said, real men don't hit women. And real women don't provoke men. I'm gonna say it again. I said a real man does not beat his woman, and a real woman does not provoke her man. Ah, boy, this is gonna be one. It's gonna be one you want to share. I'm telling you, for all you ladies out there who got daughters, and for all you fellas out there that got daughters, and for all you fellas and ladies out there who got sons, it's amazing how differently you teach them in reference to the face of violence based upon which face the violence has. Yeah. I'm gonna let that one sink in just for a second. We wonder why we got these bitch ass niggas, and why we got these gruesome and purposeless women. We so focused on this thing, equality, right? We so focused on it that it is absolutely corrupting our community. How sway? Because we're not really focused on equality. Why you say? Because we want things to be a certain way until shit hits the fan. You understand? It's amazing how my sister community expects men to have such restraint when it comes to absolute physical evil
And they feel so proud and vindicated for the ignorance that they perpetuate. But you better not hit them back. I'm talking to this one sister one day, and she tells me about how when her and her dude would get into an argument, if he didn't answer her questions fast enough, you don't hear me talking to you? And I would dare him to hit me back. I stand over him like his mama and smack the shit out of him again. Answer my question. Who was that you was talking to? What? But you taught your daughters if a dude is in the house smacking you around, you supposed to be hitting them back and calling some folks to come ride up on them, right? But we equal. Right? See, there's an esoteric divinity to what I said. A real man does not beat his woman. And a real woman does not provoke her man. That is the balance. That is the balance. But come on, y'all. What are we teaching if we're allowing people to accept a beating because of a gender? He's not supposed to protect himself. Do you know how crazy violence gets? Anything can start to happen. So we teach our boys to walk away when he's being abused physically, right? Except if it's by the hand of another man. So now we have to shut certain parts of the brain off in defense of self, based upon who's creating the conflict. How about what we teach is self-restraint, period. How about that? Instead of teaching self-restraint, period, what we're now doing is accepting Hollywood's rendition of defense and standing tall for thyself as a woman. Now, every other movie that comes out, you have a woman fighting a man so that she can feel vindicated and as a powerful woman. They don't have her fighting the next bad bitch in the film. It's not two bad bitches in the film fighting. No. It's her against all of these men. So what we're teaching our women is that, yes, okay, we understand that women, get beat. We understand that women got sold. We understand that all these things happen, but it also happened to men. There was not an individual situation that did not take place, especially as it pertains to the people of color. We've all been beaten. We've all been sodomized. One day, I got beat up in a club by 5 bouncers. You understand? And when I went to my attorney about the situation, he said, well, the injuries were not as bad as they could be. And because you were not raped, because you're not a woman and you were not raped, we have no case. The way we view personal, what do you call it? When you've got your freedom of person of safety, your freedom of safety taken from you. You understand? So it's not about man and woman fighting each other. It's about learning self-restraint, learning not to be over there provoking a situation that now restraint has to be created in order for safety to prevail. It's what we're teaching. I don't really see too many videos of kumbaya. I see a lot of videos of gender specific enlightenment and not much unity enlightenment. You got a sister over here that's talking to sisters, and you got brothers talking to sisters, because let's face it, a lot of men are not seeking. And what we're seeking is based upon our own interest. You got a lot of people that are cut on, a spiritual video in the morning. But if we're talking about violence, if we're talking about money, if we're talking about difference of politics, that video gets shut off. So morality is based upon your religion and not necessarily balance. So now based on morality, we make decisions of boisterous nature. And what that results to is bullying. It results in bullying. In war, all things are equal, right? So here we have this new feminist movement where women feel as they can be on the same plane as a man. And men feel that they have to extinguish women's voices in order to stay on that plateau. But that's not true. We're holding pride of the wrong things, just to manufacture a new reality that we can control. And that's what it all comes down to. Violence is specifically about control. Specifically. If you don't do something I want you to do, I force my will upon you. So now, what needs to be taught is how to communicate. Healthy communication instead of all of this aggression. And the aggression is taking place because of everything else around us. We've silenced our voices on all these other things, and now we make war upon the person that has decided to take our hand in partnership of this thing that we call life. We're more willing to do things for everyone else except for the person that sleeps next to us. For some reason, we have created, and watch, I'm gonna show you it, and it's almost like it's cute, like it's programmed. I'm gonna show you how. When you're watching a movie, right, or let's say we've got this dating thing going on, right, and you've got a guy who likes a particular football team. Now, if you're a guy and you date, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For some reason, women think that it's cute to root for the team that you're not rooting for. You understand? It's like this natural rivalry that takes place between men and women. And most of it is manufactured. Why? Because most of the purity, most of the things that we do by nature, most of it is based on mating. Most of it is based on mating. Mating and survival. But what happens? We start watching shit and getting ideas. We start talking to toxic friends and getting ideas. You and your partner already created this particular nucleus. You already sat down at the table and discussed that this is how it was going to go. But now you thought about it. And they got too much control. So now we must fight about it. instead of raising vibrations and offering the best of both worlds, what is it that you bring to the table? How can we maximize that? How can we maximize that? We're so focused on being equal. But it's funny how it only happens when you want it to happen. And now we're mad because we have a society of weak men. We go to the movies and we watch these films, right? Like 50 Shades and what was it, 365 or some 365 or some shit like that, right? And you see the woman is kidnapped, clearly. She is clearly kidnapped. And he tells her that he's going to give her 365 days to fall in love with him. In this film, spoiler alert, he's aggressively pinning her down. He's aggressively throwing himself on her. And a lot of women like this behavior. A lot of women like this behavior. The problem is, again, communication. Because as a man, if you're in the habit of dating a particular type of woman, right? And you realize that this particular type of woman likes this particular type of behavior, and now you're dating a new woman, and women, you know, they're different, they're like leaves. And now you're behaving in this particular fashion that you all have not communicated. She now feels oppressed. And if she strikes back, right, because now she's feeling overpowered, she's in well right. Communication. In war, all is equal. What do I mean by that? Now that communication has been had, we have to be careful how we communicate. What is the purpose in your communication? Are you trying to say, hey, I don't like this, I wish that you would do it this way? Or, get the fuck up off me, this is the last time we doing this shit, I don't want you touching me no more, blah, 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 blah. Because the tone is now set in that communication. If this person is not well balanced within self and self, either resolve or conflict now has the opportunity of taking place. Based upon how he responds, now we either have healing or we gotta fight. But what are we fighting about? We're fighting about a misunderstanding. We're fighting about power. We're fighting about a struggle. Some of you are listening, and it sounds like a circle, but there's a combination to domestic violence. There's a combination to it. And the first combination is communication. Not everybody is mating for the same thing. You have some people who are over-aggressors by nature. They need to be with someone who needs an aggressor. But when you got two aggressors together, you got fire in that house. We need to create different ways of resolve. Why? Because two alpha spirits create war in conflict. It is by nature. We don't respect conflict enough to practice it properly. It's like a martial art. It's like a weapon. It's like a knife. You put knives in a certain drawer, right? You put your gun in a certain place. But we just throwing around attitude. And we're programming these men to be okay with this toxic behavior while we teach our women not to be. I remember watching TV during the Super Bowl one time, and there was a Snickers commercial, right? And the guy, there was a I think it was a basketball game going down, right? And the referee threw a bad call. The coach from one side of the team is screaming in the referee's ear. Blah, 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 blah. The commentator is going, wow, look how he's taking it. Man, he must have practice. And then they show the referee at home, and his wife going, rah, 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 rah. We have classified abuse, and we've watered down abuse. We've classified abuse as one physical and one emotional. And then we put them on a scale, and then we said one weighs more than the other. Why is the topic said in this particular manner? Because from a normality platform, the platform is really spoken from a woman's perspective. But if we're going to heal domestic violence, then if we're going to have resolve in any type of format, then it's got to be spoken from another perspective as well. Because once it's spoken from a man's perspective, it's easily dismissed. It's like, y'all should know better. You should walk away. Well, what about the responsibility of the aggressor? What about the responsibility of the antagonist? Do you understand that in the day of now, these women are strong as shit? They will knock your ass slam out on the first hit. You know what I'm saying? You cannot dismiss violence from any perspective. You know how many men are in that graveyard because they didn't suspect that right hook from that iron? You know what I'm saying? They just didn't see the knife coming because she's a girl. And women, you have to stop being so easily manipulated because he's a nice guy, and you're poking the beast. You understand? Men ain't supposed to hit women. Men ain't supposed to hit women, and you just poking the fucking beast. You poking the beast. You poking the beast. You poking the beast. You poking the beast. Stop antagonizing. Stop treating men like they not shit. You want men to have emotions, and then when the man show you emotions, you calling them all bitches. Every time you get into an argument, now you're bringing up his emotional distress, throwing it against him. You bringing up the moment he cried because his mama died, and you know what I'm saying? And you just poking the beast and poking the beast. That man is also being beat on the outside of that house. His boss is doing the same shit. Because he knows he's got a felony on his record. He knows he doesn't want police involvement. He knows that he's got to have this job or them 4 kids at the house is going to be hungry. So he pokes at him and he pokes at him and he pokes at him. And the government pokes at him. He's not eligible for these PPP loans. He's not eligible for these, you understand? And you got your sisters in your corner. His brothers left him to the wilderness. The only way that we can extinguish violence is by empathy. It's not about being as tall as the bear. The bear doesn't have to be as big as an alligator. They just don't fuck with each other. Because they know that bear is strong and them teeth are sharp. We have to learn how to respect each other for our strengths and speak to the weaknesses instead of using your strength to bully the situation. Because what I want you to really think about is how much restraint this man is carrying every single day. See, in the men world, when me and this man have words, we go toe to toe. Let him call me a bitch. I'm smacking the shit out of him. I'm punching him right in his face. Let him say half the shit you say. Let him say a quarter. Let a %quarter of that shit that you be talking come out of his mouth. And he getting dead. Dead in the chin. He getting a Iokic uppercut. But see, you're a woman. And you don't realize the restraint that he has to practice on a daily basis with that badass mouth that you got going on. If we want respect, respect is given. Respect is earned based upon a mutuality. Based upon an observation of strength. Respect is earned and given based upon an observation of strength and integrity. You understand? Women ain't shit neither. We also have to do better. And this is why I'm making the video. Because see, women don't like to get checked. They don't like to get checked. They feel like, you know, they should be right at all times. And that's also a program. If you grew up in the 80s, man, so women always right. Women always right. Women always, from comedy shows to movies to books, woman is always right. Woman is always right. It was a program. But that doesn't create responsibility of a mutual context. You understand? That only leaves one person responsible for the restraint in the relationship. And that's a heavy burden to have. That's an emotional burden. The same type of burden it feels like when one person is carrying the family from a financial perspective. You wake up in the morning and you walk out to go to work and you see this person laid up on the couch playing PlayStation. Or you wake up and leave the house and you see this person on the couch just on Instagram scrolling. You come home, the house ain't clean. Y'all go out to eat, you got to pay the bill and the tip. You know how much heavy of a burden that is regardless of the pride of it. So you have to understand that men carry a particular pride of restraint. Their strength, a real man's strength, is not in who he could be. A real man's strength is in the peace that he could create even in conflict. While knowing when to use that strength for survival purposes and to create an example. You understand? And a lot of times, a lot of women don't understand this concept until they have a son. A lot of women don't see, yeah, that part. Right. Happy wife, happy life shit. I just, you know, here's an, it's, oh, we're going to talk about this. I'm glad that you brought that up, Queen. I'm glad that you brought that up. Now that we all listen. Oh, now we got to, now we going somewhere. Listen, do you understand the program against men? The program against men. Do you understand that a woman is raised to know that she is phenomenal all by herself? A phenomenal woman. She is. But a man is taught behind every good man is a good woman. Which leads a man to believe that there is no goodness within himself alone. Which leads a man to believe that he can't do anything worth value unless a woman is a part of that. Do you understand how damaging that is to the male species? Happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Do you understand the program in that context? That means that no matter how he feels, against all purpose and reality, he should give unto her whatever her desire. We're talking about abuse. See, when we talk about abuse, we talk about war. And in war, all things are equal. There's psychological warfare. There's guerrilla warfare. There's colonial warfare. We're not seeing the invisible war that's taking place within our relationships. It's almost as if we rally it along. I'm sitting at the bar and I'm hearing these two sisters talking. She says to one sister, girl, I told him if he ain't had the dishes done when I get home, it's gonna be a problem. What do you mean? And you wonder why this energy begets. You wonder why this conflict is consistent in your relationship. I talking to one sister, she said, yeah, me and my dude, we be having fist fights for real. And I can't call the cops because sometimes I be starting it. What? I said, wait a minute, queen, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that y'all are literally punching each other like in the face and shit? She's like, yeah. You know, if I ask him a question or if he say something slick out his face, he know I don't play that shit. So I punch him in his face. She was like, yeah, I instigate 90% of it. So here you have a relationship by which the female is instigating 90% of the violence, right? Let's say that they break up. They've been together now 4 or 5 years. They break up. He goes into a new relationship. What do you think the perception of communication and affection is in his mind? If she ain't fighting, if she's not throwing blows, we must not be in love. So now he's going to create conflict. And then in a certain circumstance, because she's not that way, and he doesn't understand that yet, he's going to throw the first punch. I had a woman tell me one time, I was courting, and we got into some words. And she was like, what you gonna hit me now? You gonna hit me now? I'm like, nah, what you talking about? I'm not gonna hit you. She was like, what you mean you're not gonna hit me? Hit me. If you a real man, you gonna hit me. Hit me. Put me in my place, daddy. Put me in my place. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? She was like, you a little pussy. I'm like, what? I'm a pussy because I won't beat you? She's like, yeah. A real man know how to put a woman in her place. Do you see how much miscommunication? Do you see the wave that takes place? And then we wonder why. We wonder why we have this toxic shit going on. We're not understanding where these people come from. This shit is deeply rooted. So if all we're talking about is man shouldn't beat a woman, or, you know what I'm saying, a woman should do this or a man should do that, and we're not speaking to the psychology of behavior, we're not talking about resolve, we're not talking about alternative methods of resolve, then how can we expect hurt people without example, without tutor, without education, without example? How can we expect different? That's like telling a baby to walk. You understand? That's like saying to a baby, hey baby, baby, get up, come here. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Come here, baby. Yeah. We have to manage our expectations. We have to speak to the spirits instead of to the carnal. We got to speak to that spirit. Our sisters are so involved in this colonial fight, the Anglo-Saxon and the Caucasian against their men. We're so caught up in that fight that we create fights within our own community that does not need to exist. We get so caught up in all of these different exterior things, and we bring it into our relationship. We watch this reality TV, and then we come to bed, and now we want to question each other about the bullshit that we just watched on TV. Hey, baby, what you think about what just happened? Would you have done that? Now, if you wouldn't have been watching that toxic shit, now you all wouldn't have been talking about it. And now y'all want to fight because of a difference of opinion instead of agreeing to disagree. Now you want to force your will upon each other based upon this particular situation. You've made your relationship so social that breaking up is embarrassing, and so now you're creating all this toxicity. You're accepting all this toxicity just to keep this facade, just to keep this allure. Relationship used to be about survival. It used to be about legacy building. It used to be about finances and really, towering those around you. I don't know. They did a great job with creating war within us. They did a great job. This was not how it was. And I'll put a post out like a real man doesn't beat his woman and a real woman doesn't provoke a man, and then we'll have people that'll take you back to when women were being sold. But they won't take you back to when men were being sold. They'll take you back to when women were being beaten. But they don't want to talk about when men were being beaten. We want to single out oppression. We've all been oppressed. Yes, it may be different, but fuck the difference. That's what we're not understanding. We want to single out oppression and hold on to the shit and wear it like a pride, like this is the reason why I fight. This is the reason why I fight. I fight for women's rights. I fight for this and right. And now all we're doing is separating ourselves more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And then one day we have 900,000 women missing. And we wonder, how the hell did that happen? Because you said we were equal. So I could fight. Why can't you? Why should I give a damn about you being abducted? You want to be equal. Throw them hands. Now that we equal, don't come to me when somebody done said something wrong to you. Throw them hands. Don't feel bad now when you understand when I can't protect you. But that's not what we really want. I hear these men complaining about their women not being able to pay for a meal and not taking them out because they want to be sported. They're complaining about these things. It's not people want to be catered to. But man, you're complaining about a woman not giving you something? You're complaining about it. And I ain't talking about survival. I'm talking about just, we got to level up. We got to play the adult version of grow the fuck up. The only reason why people fight is because they can't communicate. And what's being communicated is at this point. At one point, we used to have this pretty constant flow of communication. Things worked a particular way. Now it's like this. Everybody's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's all over the place. That's why the conflict is so broad now. That's why it's so bold now. You understand? When you're watching a movie, right? When you're watching a movie and a woman, something happens to a woman, what happens? How do they show her resolve it? They show her come home to a glass of wine, right? They show her come home to a glass of wine in the tub with the bubbles on the phone. Or she turns the music up. She's, Calgon, take me away, right? They show her come home and write and create, right? What do they show men do? When some shit when shit's fucked up in the movies and something happens to a man, what do? He realizes it, takes a moment, pause, the camera spins around to this table with all this shit on it, and then what does he do? And then he grabs the bottle. Right? What's the point? They're right. And we have to respect that shit and heal from it. Most women retreat into healing. Most men fight into healing. Or fight out the aggression. You know what I'm saying? In neither circumstances is healing really taking place. Isolation does not heal you. And fighting out aggression does not heal you. It just feels good. Speaking to the issue is what heals. Why are we in here fighting? Instead of, you know what I mean? Like, why? I said to someone, hey, I'm polygynous. You understand? I'm polygynous. That means that the way that I love is based upon plurality. And a polygynous man is involved with a monogamous woman. So why would a polyamorous woman want to be with a polygynous man and then fight for control of the status or the relationship lifestyle? You're doing it for control. Why don't we look for what fits us instead of finding things that don't and trying to make it fit? Because that's what we're programmed to do. This domestic violence is now, it's now programmed. It used to be like, it used to be something that happened out of natural chemistry, right? But again, it's a program from this westernized mindset that was memorialized to create a standard of normality. Because if you see it now taking place all day long, then when you see it in real life, then it's, you've been desensitized. You understand? Now that they're programming you this equality thing, you know what I mean? You put that in the wrong head. You put that thought in the wrong head. And now we have people provoking conflict. You ever seen a man, and listen, no disrespect. You ever seen a man go from the streets to like joining a religion, a particular religion? And he used to have this empathetic, this particular respect for women. And then he joined this particular religion, and now women are property. Now women are to be owned in a particular sense, right? They done put this mindset of masculine power in his mind so much that in order to extinguish the oppression that he suffered as a weak man, he now feels like he has to overpower a weaker vessel. And you have some women who've been treated a particular way that now they choose weaker men so that they can overpower the particular relationship. But we still didn't heal the problem. So now this woman of might and strength, after a certain time of beating on this man, is now tired of him not fighting back. She realizes she realizes that she's with a weak man. And the reason she needed that weak man prior has been dissolved. Now there's no purpose for his weakness because we need to move forward. And now I'm in a relationship. I can't necessarily do that alone. Just like you have that man who chose that woman that he could oppress. He chose that woman that he could beat upon psychologically for his masculine gain, for his ego, right? To massage his ego. He chose that. Now that he's elevated past ego, she serves no more purpose. But in those moments, we've created children. In war, all things is equal. We don't understand that we're even at war half the times. That's the problem. They've normalized this shit so that you don't even realize when you don't even see the bullet. You don't even know that you're in war. Think about it. If now majority of our relationships are fractionalized relationships, meaning that this man is with this woman who already has children. She doesn't have his seed. Or this woman is with this man who has children and she hasn't bared his seed. The way they treat each other is going to be completely different. Why? Because they have no true natural bond. Them ain't his kids. Them ain't her kids. So that bond isn't there. That glue isn't there. It's easy to move from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, especially after you've had children. Now we've created war upon our own gene pool. We've created war upon our legacy. We are abusing ourselves in hope for some shit that has been made up. Some shit that only 1%. You done made it up in your mind, you know what I'm saying, that you gonna be wealthy. After y'all done been together a few years, you started going to now these conferences. Now you coming home fighting because he's complacent where he is. Now you want to be more. Now you all are fighting. Now you're calling each other names and shit. Now because you hanging out with rich friends and shit. You in network marketing. Now you on boat cruises. He at home. He mechanicking. He's swinging on the porch on the outside. He enjoying the natural state of life. He looking at deer and shit. You going on these excursions. I wish you were here photos. You know how y'all do. You hanging out with all of these multi-millionaire men. You come home, now he's inadequate. But he was just fine 2 years ago. Y'all been together for a few years. She working on a job. You out here in the community. Now you done going to this conference and this conference. You seeing this queen and she done did this and she done did this for this many people. She done did this for this many people. She can wire some copper and make it shit look like a crown, and she can do all of this. You know what I'm saying? And all she did was have your children and work hard and provide consistency and love. And now you come home and that's not enough. In war, all things are equal. we have to take our time. We have to ask questions. Why are we in here fighting? Every blow that hurts isn't necessarily a physical one. Y'all in here playing petty ass games too. You go back and forth with this pettiness. It's fucking up our psychology. It's fucking up your mind. It's fucking up your soul. Just to prove a point. If you could do it, I could do it. You see these posts about men cheating. What's the follow-up comment from some sassy ass woman? Women cheating, we do it better. Yeah, that's something to be proud about. Yeah, let's go with that one. Yeah, let's celebrate that. Yeah, women cheating, we do it better. We so busy celebrating ignorance, and we don't even see the war. You don't even see the war. But while you're going off on these emotional fits, he's supposed to stay at this even kill, right? What happens when he's now at this place? You know, for the most part, now there's exceptions to the rules, but for the most part, when a man is at this level, do you know how many women can't come here to bring him here? They go, I don't know why the fuck you all the way up there with that shit. But when she's here, he's supposed to learn how to climb all the way up there and help walk her back down this mountain. In war, all things are equal. Why can't we create this normality that we all need empathy? Why can't we create this normality that we need to learn that there's more to men than just sex? There's more to men than sex and aggression. Do you understand that the man is already perceived as the enemy? Do you know what this is doing to his mind? He's already, the moment he shows up to the party, yep, there's the enemy. The enemy just walked through the door. The oppressor just walked through the door. And now he has to prove that he's not. While you get to be a phenomenal woman that he has to discover ain't shit. You understand the perception? What that does to the mindset of these carnal beings? Why is there so much domestic violence? We have no empathy and respect. We don't know how to disagree without yelling at each other. I asked the question, how would you like to be calmed down? What do you need in those moments? We have to get to maturity. We have to understand, we have to understand a lot of times, we have to understand that when our mate is troubled, when they're at a place of aggression, even though you may be a trigger of that, all that ain't for you. All that ain't for you. And a lot of times the fight happens because you make it about you. And now you feel personally responsible to heal that problem. Those are not your responsibilities. Not all the time, it's not. Most of the time, it's not. Based upon the circumstances, your responsibility to speak this to the trigger, but they got to work certain things out for themselves. We in here fighting because we taking on our mate's conflict. We want to fight what they fighting. That's not our job. You ever got into a fight with your mate because they offering you advice? It started off as advice and it ended up in fisticuffs. Like, how? Baby, I think you should do this and blah, 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 blah. And they don't know when to stop. I think you should. Well, I don't need your advice. Well, the last time, I didn't ask for it. And blah 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 and 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 blah blah and blah blah blah. That's how it happens. Some of y'all sisters don't know when to stop. There's a big ass stop sign right there in the living room. It came with a talking box that said, stop. And you just kept going. He was like, I get it. No, you don't get it. You don't understand. Blah, blah. I get it. You don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. Now, look, he done left and went to another room. Now you done followed his ass into the room. And you still going. Blah, 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 blah. He done went to another room. Now you even madder because now he ain't trying to fight back. Now you even more upset. Now it's just going. And you don't listen to me. See, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't even listening now. I asked you to stop. No. What are you supposed to do in that moment? What are you supposed to do in that moment? Because when he leave, now she done bolted the door. He can't even come back in the house. We gotta do better, y'all. We gotta do better. If it's something, you know what I'm saying, that's going on and you don't like it, instead of just going along with it, let them know, hey, I don't like this. I don't like it. It's okay not to like something. I don't like it. I don't like it when you do that. I don't want to be forced into it. I don't like it. But don't go, see, I had a sister, she said 7. I don't understand. This man be putting his hands on me, you know what I'm saying? He be talking to me reckless, you know what I'm saying? He be this, he be doing that. I said, okay, well, tell me a little bit about him. You know, where did y'all meet? Look, man, look. Where'd y'all meet? Well, you know, I met him at this motorcycle club. You know what I'm saying? He was with these Crips, you know what I mean? You know, and, you know, they was riding out, you know, I thought he was cute, you know what I'm saying? I got on the back of the bike, you know, we fucked that night, you know what I'm saying? You know, we've been kind of together, you know what I'm saying, since then, but, you know, he be talking reckless to me, treating me wrong, he won't commit to me, you know what I'm saying? Okay. At what point are we going to take responsibility for the shits? You understand? At what point? Hey, Sam, dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, she draining my bank account, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even keep $1, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, when I can't afford something, she go up on me, you know what I mean? Like, she be, you know, just talking reckless to me and everything because I can't afford some shit. Okay, well, you know, tell me a little bit about her. You know what I'm saying? Where'd you meet? Man, you know, I met her at the strip club, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was making it rain one day, you know what I'm saying? You know, and she saw the stacks that I was blowing and, you know, she wanted to come home with me, you know, we fucked, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, ever since then, you know, we've been going back and forth, bro. But like, she be cheating on me. Look, man, at what point are we going to take responsibility of the beatings? It's easy to be the victim. In war, all things is equal. If you out there fucking with hurt people, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get hurt. If you're out there fucking with people who manipulate for a living, you're going to be manipulated. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you done got with a magician and then you mad because you keep getting tricked. And this is where the fights come from. Oh, I thought he was just tricking other people. I didn't think that he was going to trick me too. Well, if you saw him tricking other people, what makes you think that you wasn't being tricked? Oh, because you're different, right? That's where the fights come from. You think shit ain't supposed to happen to you. So now you mad and want to fight. You want to fight because now you want to seem different from everybody else who's received this treatment. You understand? But you put yourself in that place. You understand? You broke, so you live in a place where other broke people live. And those broke people are trying to mate with you, and now you mad at them because they ain't got more than you got. Well, if he can't buy me this, if he can't buy me that, if he can't do this, if he can't do that, but you in the belly of the beast too. You can't even do it. But that shit you watching making you feel like you should be able to do it. And now you at war within self. And you bucking now against your circumstances instead of trying to heal them. All of this is synonymous to domestic violence. All of it is synonymous. We just don't talk about it all being synonymous because we just want to talk about the outcome. A man shouldn't hit a woman. We shouldn't be in here fighting. That's like telling a child to go get a job. Hey, little John, come here. Yeah, Daddy. I want you to go get a job because I need help with the light bill. I need help with the gas bill. Okay, Daddy. Oh, but because we're adults, we're supposed to just consume information. Right? We ain't got to go look for it. It's just supposed to come to us. We're expected to be of a particular class and behavior while we've been abused as children, neglected as young beings. Right? We're expected to have this healthy mentality and behavior without somebody speaking to it. That's a falsehood. But videos like this don't get numbers. When you're holding up the mirror, you understand? And you're not pointing fingers. When you're making it about actual heal within type shit, when you're making it about the process of things, people don't really want to hear about the process. They want to hear about the grandeur of getting there. They want to hear a woman who has been beaten move past being beaten. They want to hear about a man who used to beat, now not beat no more. But we don't want to hear about how not to beat in the moment. We only speak to the victims. Why? You ever realize that? It's all about being a victim now. Now on all of these award shows or all of these reality shows, right? They pick the one who has the most conflict. It's never the one who has a good life that's picked so that they can be a good example on television, you know, or a different example on television. They never pick the person who's like, yeah, I had a great mom and dad, you know, they fed me my vegetables, they taught me right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? I had a good education. I mastered this. I mastered that. I thought I couldn't do this, and I did that shit. And I was like, holy shit. So I figured, you know, why not American Idol? We never get those stories. We get, well, you know, my dad just had a triple bypass, quadruple bypass, octuple triple bypass surgery. His heart fell into pieces, and they picked one piece and put it back together. And then he was beating my mom because he had an alcohol problem. And my mom was like, you too can be a hero, baby, while she was getting her face bashed in. And I figured I should be a hero because I don't want to be a victim like my mom. But we don't see the stacks and stacks of code. We don't see the stacks and stacks of program. We don't see it. We applaud it. We root for the underdog. But why? Why don't we root for the champion? Do you realize that we were raising our children to be champions, and the moment they became champions, now we don't root for them no more. We now okay, they made it. Let's go back to another underdog. Our underdog. So now what happens? The moment either one of us in a relationship starts to become a champion, we start to knock each other back down. See, we not understanding how synonymous this shit is. We're not understanding the program and how it feeds into our daily lives. You're so focused on this underdog. The underdog is always fighting. The champion has made it to a place of healing. They get to look down and offer advice. Why aren't we aspiring to the champion? We all trying to be the underdog. We take so much pride in fighting so hard. Why? How can I learn more about esoteric divinity? You know how, Queen. You already did the first realm of alchemy academics. It's time to do the second lesson. Esoteric divinity. That's the second lesson. But that feeds into American dream bullshit. No matter your circumstances, you can make it. Right. Right. Everybody believes that they should be at the top. We don't give any pride and justice to the victors. We don't give any pride and justice to those who have made it. We just feel that everyone should be at the top. Everyone is equal. In war, all things are equal. So in war, there's a winner. But we have such a toxic mindset as it relates to the winner. Oh, why? Because we're all winners. Right? That bullshit. No. That's why it's called a winner. If everyone was a winner, then there would be no term called winner. It takes something to win. It takes preparation. It takes patience. It takes consumption of a particular idea, concept, or activity. So what makes us think that we can have a healthy relationship or a healthy lifestyle without patience, without practice? People walking around with all of this sense of depression because they feel like they didn't get it right. But they wasn't born with a blueprint to success. Nobody came along whistling Dixie and just threw that shit up on the porch. It was like, hey, you 16, right? You supposed to have this. Hold on. Here. Holy shit. I got it, y'all. The book of success just landed on my porch. Yeah, doggy, I'm going to be rich. So what happens is that now after a certain period of time, you done turned 25, you done turned 30. You ain't got $1 million in your account like everybody else you grew up watching on television. Not to mention all the people that was hard working around you who don't have the millions. But for some reason you feel like you should be that exception without any extra effort on your part just because you're so great, right? Like you heard all the stories about this person making it because they was at the gas station singing some cover song and this producer rolled up and he was like, holy shit, did you hear that voice? Get the agent on the phone right now. I think we're going to sign this person up. So now all you do is sing at the pump because you think that's how you're supposed to make it. You go home And he like, baby, you're going to have to do more than just singing at the pump. You should probably go on into the studio and make a song. You should probably sit down and write some records. You should probably listen to, you know, some people about voice instruction, this and that. Oh, so what you trying to say? I can't sing? I can't sing? Such and such made it. They made it at the pump. Why? I can't make it. You all over my dreams. You still in my dreams. You still in my dreams. Nobody can tell you nothing. Anything that opposes your mindset is now conflict. Is now we're fighting. Because and then what happens? 2 months later, somebody else comes along and tell you the same thing. You end up doing it and realize your partner was right. But you don't give them the accolades. They're still under pressure in your mind. Because they was bucking so hard against that mindset that you now observe. We want to load these conversations of romance about all the things that's not working out in our relationship. We don't give no pride and justice to the things that are. A sister called me up, 7, you know, she wanted some counseling, relationship counseling. 7, you know, we ain't here fighting, you know what I'm saying? But I said, well, why you fighting? Because he don't understand me. He don't respect me. He don't do this. He don't do that. I said, okay, hold on. Calm down for a second. Just calm down. How long y'all been together? We've been together 5, 6 years. Well, which one is it? Is it 5 or is it 6? It's almost 6. It'll be 6 next month. Okay, cool. So you mean to tell me in these 6 years, there's nothing that he's doing that's keeping you there? What you mean? He's not, there's no sensitivity. He's not providing. He's not doing anything, right? Well, I said, okay, I'm going to make it easy. Tell me 5 things that he does that you really love. Well, why you got to be like that? I said, name 5 things that he does that you love, and automatically you sighing as if you don't want to even tell me. I'm just saying, I know, but just tell me. Okay. Sometimes he'll massage my feet when I'm complaining that I, you know, been standing up hard at work, long days, whatever. He massage my feet. Okay, does he, when he massages, is it like a quick situation, like, or is it like, let me get that for you, baby, blah, blah, blah. It's a get it for me, baby, blah, blah. Oh, okay. What else? He'll buy me flowers from time to time, you know. Okay, so now she goes through naming, she's getting to the 5th thing. I ain't saying nothing now. Now she's on to the 6th. Now she's on to the 7th. I said, well, you realize I haven't stopped you and you still going about all these things that he does that makes you feel good. Why are you in there fighting? Because I asked him to do this and he won't. Well, he doesn't have the ability to say no to you. He's got to say yes to everything. The moment he says no, now you want to fight him? But look at all of the things that he does to communicate. He asked for this one thing so that he can go and be to himself. But now you want to fight on that. We got to understand, y'all. Some of us are choosing mates to take souls. Y'all in there soul snatching. They can't go do anything, you understand, that brings joy to them if it doesn't involve you. In war, all things are equal. And what I mean by that is if you get the opportunity to be upset that they're not doing something that you want done, then they get the ability to be upset about all the shit that they are doing. You understand what I'm saying? But now you don't want them to bring that up. Oh, you only do it to bring it up in my face. No, I do it to remind your ass that this shit ain't all vinegar. We got sugar in this motherfucker too. Why you don't never talk about the sugar? You only want to bring up the vinegar. That's why we in here fighting, because you don't appreciate my sugar. You see? When a person doesn't feel appreciated now, they feel like they gotta fight to be heard. They gotta fight to be seen. They gotta fight to feel valid. We wonder why domestic violence takes place. Like it's not just a happenstance. It doesn't just happen. This is something that's programmed, matriculated, materialized. And we become the vessel of this ignorance. But because you didn't hit him, it's not violence. Because you didn't hit him, you understand? You're the only victim, right? But he's got to suffer through all of this. And ain't supposed to punch back, right? And you know how to get him. That's why you couldn't get hard last night. Oh, you know how to get him. Oh, y'all know how to dig. But of equal value. If the illustration of equal value is allowed, then it's a smack, and it's a punch, and it's a kick down the stairs. But you don't understand that. Nobody spends the time to illustrate the similarities of violence. You just want them to be separate so that you can stand on this plateau and speak from it. That's right. Women shouldn't be abused. But you're not saying, that's right. Women shouldn't antagonize. Women should keep them hands to themselves. Their hands to themselves. You're not rallying for that. You're not rallying that an alpha woman should look for an alpha male instead of a beta, because the moment he realizes he's being taken advantage of, he's gonna now buck. Just like anyone pushed into a corner. But when you're dealing with people who are making choices because this is what they want to do, there is no viper. You have a willing partner. That's why it's important to be equally yoked. When we talk about being equally yoked, that's on all planes. Emotional immaturity and the inability to communicate are factors. That's exactly the point. If I feel like I'm emotionally mature and I'm dating someone specifically for visual value, I have not taken the time to observe their emotional distress, you know what I mean? Their emotional capacity. I now implant myself into their lives, and now I realize how toxic their behavior is when things don't work out for them. But I've committed to that. Now that's creating an even more of a conflict, because now I'm not just at war with that individual that I chose. I'm now at war with myself because I chose him. So now I'm upset at myself. And when you're upset at yourself and don't allow healing to come, it starts to fester, because now you're blaming this person for being who you are. Now you feel like you have to fight. We're going from chamber to chamber. We're going from chamber to chamber. I've had women, I've had queens inbox me. They said, Seven, you know, I can appreciate from an ideal perspective where you come from, and I can almost hear you. But the fact that you're a man speaking this shit, I can't really listen to it, or I can't really digest it well. And I said, what? What do you mean? Well, you know, I was brought up where the woman, you know, the women in my family are the strong ones. You know, the women in my family are the ones that give advice. The women in my family are the ones that correct. The women in my family are the ones that chastise. The women in my family are the ones that nurture or build or whatever the case may be. People tell you things without them saying it. See, so because she told me that, I can already come to my conclusion that the manner in which they spoke about men wasn't probably positive at all. So the value of these words of wisdom fall upon dead ground. You can't receive them because it's coming from a man. And that's sad. In war, all things are equal. You got some people who join the military with the intentions of not to fight. I'm joining the military just to go to college. I don't want to fight. I don't want to go to war. I just want to learn and get a check. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be what they call them? Ministers. But then the fight breaks out. And for some reason in your mind, you shouldn't have to pick up a gun and go defend. Because that's not what you joined for, right? But that decision was based on a half-truth or an inability to manage expectation. You fell in love with a race car driver. Now you're fighting with this person. You fell in love with a race car driver. Now all you're doing is fighting about how fast he goes all the time. You're fighting about all these cars that he wants to buy. You're fighting about all the time he spent on the track. These are what your fights are about. Instead, you could be using that time to help research an alternative gas, an alternative, intake, or the new suspension kit. But instead, you want a rivalry. Because if attention is not on you, then in your mind, we don't have a successful relationship. It's failed. But you chose him because he was the fastest. Because he won. You went to the strip club and she was shaking that thing and you lost your mind. Your eyes looked like an emoji. It was hard eyes, hard eyes, hard eyes. You kicked it and you kicked it and you came for her and you came for her and you came for her, and she finally said okay. And now you want to create conflict every time it's time for her to go to work. Every time she getting ready to step out the house to go to the strip club. Every time she's stepping out the house to go do a private party. Every time she's stepping out the house to go do an event. Now you mad. Now you're in there fighting. But you chose her. But nobody want to talk about that. We don't want to be responsible for our choices. We want to be the victim of the outcome. This is why I say life is easy. We make it hard. Why would you want to beat on the person that you chose to be a partner in life with? I was with a woman once that, and I chose to sacrifice certain things to accomplish something. And we got into it one day. And boy, she was digging. That's why you ain't shit. You this old and you at my house. Nothing you've done has been successful. None of that is true. I was invited to your house based upon your admiration of my sacrifice. And you don't know shit about my accomplishments. But if we allow these things to make us, if we allow these things to be true, then we fight different. Now I feel like I gotta usurp authority. Now I feel like I gotta huff and puff back because now you hurt my feelings. You ain't gotta do that. Just realize this ain't the place for me. You don't serve a purpose of higher vibration. We don't work well together. And instead of trying to fit, a round peg in a square hole, let's just not do this. And we got to come to that resolve before we start creating more liability. Everything ain't got to work out. It's again another program. You think if shit don't work out that you failed. Just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean it's a failure. You're just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. You know what I'm saying? For some shit that has no value, it will never be anything. And you know that, which is why now more and more conflict is starting to arise. Fighting comes from awareness. It does. One person feels a certain way, and if you didn't have an awareness, then you would be able to buy into everything that's being delivered to you, so you wouldn't have to fight. But because you don't feel that same way, you understand? Because you have a difference of opinion, that's where the fight comes from. But you don't always have to be right either. It's like, I'll give you a for instance. It's like meeting somebody, right? It's like meeting someone, right? So I recently met this woman. And y'all know I don't shy away from no comments. So I'm gonna give it to you real, right? So I recently met this woman. And she was a devout Christian, okay? And I told her that in my dating, it was extremely peculiar or very seldom that I date a Christian. She first took offense. Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Straight took offense. Straight out of the gate. So now she wants to fight. She doesn't want understanding. She's offended because she's Christian. Not everything deserves a fight. You understand? So instead of me now taking her fight personal, I backed off in my mind for a second because she was going hard, right? And I said to her, why do you feel so strongly about your beliefs? What date did this structure or foundation of lifestyle start for you and your people? And we had to have a conversation about colonization and about what happens during colonization. And I then started to speak on my ideals and my beliefs. Later on, we had an amicable conversation, and she went home. Later on that evening, she starts thinking. Now she's thinking about more ways to prove her point more than mine, right? She wants to start sending me Bible verses. She starts wanting to send me all this stuff to fight. What do you think I did? What do you think I did? I didn't reply. And I still haven't. Some of y'all are wasting so much time fighting losing battles. What will be the purpose in me trying to prove anything to her? I've already witnessed, I've already observed that her and I are not suitable mates just at that place. You understand? Just at that place. Why do I need to further anything? Why do I need to feel the need? Why would I have the need to now find other places where we're compatible? That's what we do. We know we done hit a big ass wall, but now we like this. You trying to go around this big ass wall. You on the dating app, and she's already said, I'm a whole problem. You know, I'm a good person, but I could be a bit much, and this, that, and the third. And you're actually going to swipe right on that one? You're going to swipe right. She's already telling you she's a whole problem. I could be a handful, but if you get me to a certain place, then I'm a sweet little something and blah, blah, blah. She already told you. Here you are, this spiritualist, and he already told, he was like, you know, I'm kind of like a bad boy, you know what I'm saying? I buck a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And you still gonna go with this guy. He ain't showing you no spiritualist, no sense of nature, none of that. And you think y'all gonna have a good relationship. We create the fight before the fight even happens. We create the war before the war even happens. In our mind, we say, I want to go to war. Let me find somebody to go to war with. I once talked to a sister. She said, when I'm involved, you know what I'm saying, in sexual activity, I make him give me head. I don't give him no head. What I look like giving him head? He gonna give me head. Okay. And we don't understand why we fighting. We don't understand why we fighting. So you've decided to open your spirit up to the activity of oneness with all these rules. You create this moment of oneness in celestial divinity, but then you got all these walls. I talked to one sister, you know what I'm saying, that I was trying to see, you know what I mean? I would go over to the house, you understand? And she'd sit all the way across the couch, all the way across the couch. You know, we talk back and forth. Then one day I come over and she in my lap. And the chemistry is flowing. And now we kissing and we touching. The next night I go over, she on the other side of the couch. The next night I go over, she on the other side of the couch. So I'm like, hey girl, you know, come on over here, let me, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you know, I ain't really feeling that, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then I don't hit her. So then she hits me. Can I come over? Sure, come on over. So she sits down. I sit down on the other side of the couch. Now she wants to come sit in my lap and lay with me. Do you understand how confusing this shit is to a man? And that confusion creates aggression. Naturally. It creates aggression. You playing with this man's balls. You playing with this man's mind. You playing with this man's heart. You know what I'm saying? All so that you could feel in control. You send them nudes and then you get over there and you don't want to do nothing but talk about spirituality. You talk all this shit and then y'all get to the place of lust and desire and you like, listen, I don't think we should be doing this right now. I thought I was ready, but I'm not. I'm so sorry. Do you understand the restraint Oh, well, men shouldn't have no problem. You know, they should be able to just say okay and just walk away. But it's easy to say that because you're not a man. Why do you think these things happen? Because a healed person does not have restraint. That doesn't mean that the nature isn't true. That doesn't mean that the equation isn't constant. It means that the handler is different. We don't have no respect for law of nature. We have no respect for empathy. We have no respect. We just think that we should just be able to stop and go. And that person should be okay. This man tells you, I love you. I want the grandeur in life too. And he takes you along this life. 2 years later, he's now a minimalist. He done found the light. Now, nothing is important. Now, no, I don't want no diamonds, no gold. I don't want a big house. I don't want a big fancy car. I don't want $1 million. I don't want success. I just want to live with the Creator in the hills and the valleys, and I'm be fine. And she looking at this nigga like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we talked about being a power couple. We talked about doing this. We talked about being Jay-Z and Beyonce. We talked about this. You're talking about being a mountain man now. Now we gotta fight. This person has clearly changed direction and you're still fighting to stay there with them. You're still trying to weather these storms of change, knowing that the winds are gonna blow you into some bullshit. You trying to weather the storm of change, seeing the glacier come. You're like, hey, bruh, look, that's a glacier. Hey, bruh, turn to the right or turn to the left. You still going straight. Hey, bruh, look, you don't see it's coming straight forward. We got like 10 minutes before we own it. You might want to turn left. Hey, bruh, why don't you observe the fact that there's a reserve boat on the other side? After the third tap, hey, bruh, and he not moving, he not changing direction, you might want to say, all aboard who's coming aboard. It's a glacier up there. I'm not gonna get. I'm done. I'm in the boat. But what happens? What happens is that you stay on the boat. The glacier, the boat runs into the glacier, and now the both of y'all on this boat that's wrecked on sea fighting. I told you it was a glacier. I told you it was a glacier. And he like, but you don't trust my navigation. I told you it was a glacier, but you don't trust me. I had it. No, you didn't. Yes, it did. No, you didn't. Yes, it did. Well, why didn't you just get your ass off the fucking boat? Why you didn't just get off the boat? You saw the glacier. You saw the glacier. Well, because a man is supposed to lead, and I was being a good wife. I was being a good wife. How about having good eyes? How about that? A lot of these fights are taking place because you've allowed yourself to be led into the den of the devil. You saw it coming. He been gambling. He been gambling since the week after y'all wedding. He been gambling. She been lazy. Now you want to fight? Now you want to fight. Now because you done had enough? But you chose her. I'm done fighting. I'm done fighting, y'all. Ain't no need to fight. I'm done fighting. If you don't like it, fuck it. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got to fight about this shit. We ain't got to fight. You get to be whoever you are, because I don't want to hear years later that you became something you're not because of what I was. You don't hear women say that all the time? I lost myself in his vision. But they say it like he did it to him. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no responsibility of your own actions, them 24 hours that you've been living every day for them 40 years y'all been married. Huh? I don't even know who I am no more. The fuck are you talking about? That's his fault? No, I'm just saying I lost myself. Well, why you feel like you gotta do all of this to find yourself now? Just be who you are. You ain't gotta go on these eat, pray, love ventures. Oh, y'all buy into the bullshit. This war has been created for and against you. Oh, you make it so dramatic. You cut your hair. Oh, now you're looking like a... Oh, God, man. Y'all do the most. And the only reason those actions consistently continue is because someone before you took pride in that shit. They made excuses as to why you should be like that. And you believed it. You're fighting someone else's fight. And you're bringing the war home. You got PTSD from some shit that something happened. You ever for guys, you ever been in a relationship with a woman? Some shit done happened to her girlfriend, and now she come home mad at you. Now men ain't shit because her girlfriend just got beat, or her girlfriend, something just happened to her, and now she coming home to you, this amazing man. And now she's accusing you of being, and now she's throwing around all of this generality and men ain't shit and this, that, and the third. She might have some ain't shit pussy that's attracting ain't shit men. How about that? Let's be responsible with what we're attracting. Let's be responsible with how we're enduring it. Let's be responsible with what we do after. We fighting for bullshit. Because we're not going into these relationships with the right mindset. A lot of us just tired of being alone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us just why are you in that relationship you in? I want to give y'all an assignment for the day. Why are you in the relationship you in? Or why do you want a relationship? You ever sat down and think about that? Like, what's in it for you? Why do you want to be in a relationship? And why would somebody want to be in a relationship with you? Now, as soon as I said that, yeah, that's the list I know you want to write first. Why somebody want to be? Because I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm this, and you know what's not going to make that list? All the things that you really are. A fucking headache. You ain't going to write that on there, are you? A whole problem. You're not going to write that on there, are you? Half healed. You're not going to write that on there, are you? A work in progress. You're not going to write that on there, are you? Because you want to only give light to what you want and not what you are. And then you start attracting what you are, and then you're fighting for what you want. Even if this whole video was to get to that statement, I hope you understood it. I love y'all, man. When I ain't got it, when she ain't got it, I got it. Ain't got it, she got it. Together, no problem. Together, we better. We planning tomorrow. Tomorrow, no bottom. It's ceiling only. Look at her getting lit, feeling on me. Ooh, all that melon on me. Said it wrong, but you know what I meant. Touch her wrong, you don't know where it went. My mind it is. Highnesses. Royalty, because we fuck with each other. Look at us, keeping up with each other while others are stressed. We under these covers. Under that dress while we out in public, people hate us too. Look how winners do, lip locking and tongue wrestling when our Uber get to our destination. Hesitation of commitment gone. Told her, mi casa su casa, my home, your home. We got a new gospel all on our own. No Mary, no Peter, just all in our zone. Rona just hit us, we all in our home. Creatively made it, been epic these days. Naturally waving me bay on our throne. My baby, my baby, my baby.
So real, her toe still. Boy, she don't play about shit. Keep a nice grip and a tight purse. Told me relax, she got my light work. Wanna wife her, she so catty. Daddy, Michelle Pfeiffer. Hyper, but I like her, she like daddy. And I'm like, what? Get her anything that she asks for. Ask for any other queens, kiss her ring. This her castle. Boy, we some assholes. You don't wanna come across me and bang, gang. As we say in our way, all you get is bang. Since the day I made her bell ring, it's been the same thing. Hard to be apart, kinda like we is the same flame. Can't put us out with that pussy out. I'm pushing in, I'm pushing out, so she cushion, man. No worries now. We 100 grand, my baby, my baby, my baby. Digit, baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby.
Come on, man.
My baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Baby, my baby, my baby. Baby,
You
my
watching
baby, my
Magic
baby,
Up
my
TV,
baby,
man.
my
That's what we
baby,
do.
my baby, my baby.
Hey.
Baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. When she ain't got it, I got it. Ain't got it, she got it. Together, no problem. Together, we better. We planning tomorrow. No bottom is feeling lonely. Look at her getting lit, feeling lonely. All that melanin. They said it wrong.
I love
but
y'all,
you know what
man.
I meant. Touch her wrong. You don't know where it went. My mind it is. Highnesses.
I love y'all.
Royalty, and we fuck with each other.
Love your
Yes,
mate,
keeping
man.
up with each other.
Stop
While
all that
others
war.
in stress, we under these covers. Under that dress while we out in public. People hate us too. Look how winners do. Left
Love
locking
y'all.
and tongue resting till our Uber gets our destination.
Share the video.
Hesitation, a commitment, go. Told her, mi casa, su casa, my home, your home. We got a new gospel all on our
You need some
own.
change in your life?
Mary just all in our zone. Rona just
Hit
in us,
me.
we all
Let's
in
get
our
this
own.
alchemy academics down. Let's get it. Let's get this work. Instead of creating all this conflict, let's create some resolve. Let's find where healing is. Let's participate in the activities that bring love and joy and prosperity. Instead of all that toxic shit and all that violence and all that warfare. Love on each other. Peace to man, woman, and child, all things to walk the earth. You've been watching Magic Up TV. I am your host, 70 Alchemist. Share the video.